Welcome to World Vagabonding, Chapter 1, Silk Roads. So, in World Vagabonding, we have a lofty goal, of visiting all the World Heritage Sites. And to do this, we plan on traveling chapters between the city of Hong Kong, as you see here, in Asia, and the city of Toronto, which you'll see here in North America. The reason we're traveling between these cities is because we have family in both of them, and we choose to use them as places to catch up with friends and family in between chapters. But our first chapter will have us going from Toronto, there it is, to Hong Kong. And we're calling it Silk Roads because we're going to try to visit World Heritage Sites that have a focus on the Silk Roads, or were somehow directly or indirectly affected by the Silk Roads. Basically a way of showing connectivity around the world. And since we're going to be trying to focus on visiting World Heritage Sites in an environmentally sustainable manner, we'll be traveling overland and sea without the use of any airplanes. So here's the World Heritage Sites, all the black marks that you see here. Each of them represents a World Heritage Site or a collection of sites that represent a World Heritage Site. So we'll call those sub-sites. So here's an example near Mount Vesuvius near Naples. And you can see two sites here. The first one on the top left is a single site of a World Heritage, and in the bottom right you see a cluster of 7 sites that make up a secondary that make up sub-sites of another site. So the sub-sites basically add up to a single site, and so our goal is to visit representations of every World Heritage Site. So that means that we need to go to at least one representation of a sub-site and one World Heritage Site if it's a single site. Now we're seeing a whole new layer of sites here. These green marks indicate tentative sites. These are sites that have been suggested by various countries in the United Nations as potential World Heritage Sites. So let's go back to our example near Naples. You can see our 2 sites there. Now they've got 5 more sites, but there are actually 2 groups of sub-sites. So a group of 3 and a group of 2. So our goal is to visit each sub-site in order to prevent double backing on the travel times. This is a way of being efficient and conscious of our carbon output for travel. So as you can see, there's numerous sites, around 2,800 in total. So to make it a little more palatable, we looked at our ways of grouping them together. These network of lines you see here are the different types of Silk Roads that existed over the years. And you can see that Hong Kong falls at the eastern end of the Silk Roads, with both the blue, which is water Silk Roads, like ocean-going travel, and the purple there, feeding into other various networks that cross the land from Asia to Europe. So just going back to our previous example of Naples, we can zoom in here and see that the group of sites here, the 2 original sites that we were talking about and the 2 tentative sites, all 4 of those sites fall on a maritime Silk Road that eventually connects up with Hong Kong. And so here's an example or an illustration of our proposed route for Chapter 1, which allows us to go through several types of Silk Road routes, finishing in Hong Kong. And of course we'll begin in the west because we'll be starting in the Toronto area. We will have to travel across the Atlantic by ocean liner to allow us to start into the Silk Road network, which really begins in Europe. So the crossing of the Atlantic and all that will occur from starting in New York, but we have to get there. So tracking back, we will begin our journey, this long journey to explore the World Heritage Sites in Toronto, or more accurately, in Guelph, because we live in the small town of Guelph, just outside Toronto. So we'll begin here at the Guelph Central Station, where we will catch our first train to begin our overland travel across the earth to explore World Heritage Sites. So we invite you to join in with us and come for the ride on Chapter 1.